The guys, so today I will be showing you how to run Facebook ads for Medspas in 2025. So first of all, when we create our campaign, what we're going to want to do for our campaign objective is to choose a leads campaign objective. Now, the reason we use leads generation campaign is that as a Medspa, your local business, and with local businesses, you primarily just want to generate leads since it's an easier way to acquire patients and customers. And then right now I've got this demo ad account here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press create campaign, choose leads campaign. As you know, if I was to choose awareness or traffic or engagement, it's not really that good for converting patients, as it will mainly just boost your brand. Whereas with sales is usually better for e-commerce, and since we're a local business, you want to be using leads campaign all the time. Okay, so in terms of the campaign name, let's just call it leads campaign, that's fine. Keep everything the same, buying type, auction, leads. Okay, now in terms of advantage campaign budget, it can be useful to use it in certain scenarios. Let's say where you want to be really laid off and hands off with running your adverts, and you've got one or two ad sets and a lot of ads between them, then it does make sense to use advantage campaign budget. However, usually I'll just say it's unnecessary, so I'll just take this off. And then A/B test, you want to A/B test yourself rather than using Facebook's A/B test, as it's just a lot easier to optimize. And good naming convention for ad sets is to just name them based on what the targeting is. So for example, this ad set is going to be open targeting, so I'm going to name it that. Now, why do we use open targeting? Well, the reason we use open targeting is because Facebook's AI is far better, especially these days in 2025. It's far better than any sort of interest targeting or lookalike audience targeting, as the AI just really optimizes for your audience based on your adverts, the copy within your adverts, the images within your adverts. So in general, Facebook just knows what they're doing. So we'll go for open targeting, and this just means that we're not going to restrict age, gender, or interests. Daily budget, £20. So we'll leave the minimum age 18, all languages, and then, yeah. Now, in terms of the location targeting, what you want to do is use a radius around your clinic's location. So if, say, for example, my clinic was based in West Kensington in London, just like that. In fact, I'll choose a location within West Kensington. Set includes fields. Right there. Okay. And you essentially just want to place a radius around your clinic. Let's say, based in London, maybe like 25 kilometers. That's all right, yeah. 20 kilometers will do. Generally, you can also include other areas, say the affluent neighborhoods or the areas which people travel out from towards you. Say, for example, if I'm in West Kensington, London, and there's not a lot of Medspas in Guildford, then what I could also do is target Guildford, since people from Guildford would want Medspa services. Therefore, they'll be traveling from Guildford to areas within London. Okay. Now, in terms of age, leave it broad. You don't need to change the age range from the minimum age of 18 at all, because Facebook will automatically target, your target age range anyway, which is usually going to be people between 40 and 60 years old. Now, why does open targeting work? Well, because Facebook's algorithm does the heavy lifting by learning and using your budget to continuously learn and then engage with the people who are most likely to convert, delivery. So why is narrow targeting bad? Because narrow targeting essentially just increases your CPM, as there's less people for Facebook to target. Therefore, you end up paying more for the same people in terms of your bidding strategies. So by having a more open or larger audience, then you can lower your CPM and then decrease your ad costs. Okay. Now, in terms of plus placements, because Like I said, Facebook knows what they're doing. Advantage plus audience is realistically the best option as well. But if you did want to do a lookalike audience or a retargeting audience, then you could include that right here within your custom audiences. And then you'd have to remove the advantage detailed targeting if you wanted to purely restrict the targeting to your custom audiences. Because without disabling this, even though you have your custom and lookalike audiences, Facebook will just use that as a guide rather than strictly targeting these audiences. So now I go to next and I go to the ad set. In the ads, I'm going to call this ad video 1, blah, blah, blah. Another good naming convention is to include whether it's a video or an image, then a split testing, maybe like copy variation to headline variation to etc. Okay, now let's go into the next section, which is about lead form versus website lead form. So generally, you want to use lead forms when your budget is small and you want to get started fast and get more leads quickly. Since it's Facebook code stood, there's less friction, the form goes quickly, and generally Facebook don't want people to leave the site, so they're more likely to push their own lead forms. The only downside is that it attracts tire kicker leads who may not follow through and convert simply just because it's so easy for them to put in their details that a lot of people are just scrolling by and they see the ad, they see the lead form, they put the details in, and they don't think nothing of it. Even if you follow up with them and call them straight away, they weren't actually really interested and they just did it as a lazy scroll and then lazy opt-in. Whereas with a website form, you get higher quality leads and you'd filter out time wasters and tire kickers simply just because it requires more commitment, since they have to click on your link, go to the website, go through your pre-qualified questions or forms or whatever, and then submit the details. So ideally, if you have a solid funnel and some good ad experience, I would definitely go for a website form. And also if you have a bigger budget as well. Now, in terms of the ads, videos are always superior to image ads simply just because the more memorable, the more emotionally engaging, and Instagram does prioritize them due to the higher engagement. But image ads can still work for retargeting, things like that. But video should probably be your core format. What you should aim for is just and an interesting thing I found is when we answer for clients is that even though an image ad might even have a lower cost per lead initially to a video ad, the patients who are booked from that image from that video ad compared to those who are booked for an image ads end up spending more money compared to the people who are booked from the image ad. So therefore, the actual cost the actual value acquired from patients with video ads was actually much higher than that with video ads was much higher than that with image ads. Okay. Now, in terms of how you'd actually go ahead and make your ad, the first 5 seconds is like 80% of the ad's performance, because that's what's going to get them to stop with the scroll and actually listen to the end of the ad. So realistically, you want to use vivid footage, maybe a treatment being performed or dramatic before and after, or a close-up of confident glowing skin, something like that. While they're scrolling through the feed, they're going to see it, it's going to pop out and break the scrolling pattern and catch their attention. Also, within the first 5 seconds of your video, what you want to do is call out your audience and the pain point immediately. And this is more important for Facebook targeting rather than just the patient who you're trying to target. Because even though it is beneficial for that, since if you call out hey Texas residents or hey Texas females, are you struggling with under eye bags, for example, even though they see that and it might be relevant to them and cause them to want to watch the rest of the video, the main factor of doing this is because Facebook's AI is so optimized that if you call out your audience and also the pain points, the AI is going to see that, and it's actually going to try and target the people of that audience and with that pain point. So that's very, very important. Some decent examples of this is, for the first 5 seconds, you might have a zoomed in footage of a microneedling treatment or maybe like dermal filler treatment. And then the voiceovers, struggling with acne scars, call out the pain point, and then we've got a solution that actually works. In terms of subtitles and voiceovers, which are also important just for engagement for the video to increase the average view rate and the retention rate, you should use tools like CapCut for audio captions and tools like 11 Labs for your voiceovers. Because with 11 Labs, you can actually just create a copy of your voice and just, AI generate it so that you can continue just AI generate your voice. You don't have to actually record the voiceovers yourself. It's also really easy in terms of being able to bang out and grind out more ads. Some examples of what you can show in your video though are the treatment being performed before and after results, or maybe photos and videos of the clinic team and environment, as well as client testimonials and smiling patients. Okay, now in terms of copywriting, cool. So now I'm going to go back into this demo ad account. What I'm going to do is start creating this ad based on an example. So first of all, for your headline, you should include your offer name, price, and your audience location. So what this means is essentially if you're offering something like, include the offer name, and then include the price, £49, and then you've already got the audience location there. Okay, so for our example here, what I'm going to do is simply just put for a headline, this is a clinic based in Kensington residents enjoy 50% off teardrop. It doesn't really matter since this is just an example, right? I'm not actually trying to create a headline that's going to convert, but you get the gist. First 30 characters. Okay. Now for the primary text, essentially what you want to do is you want to sort of treat it, at least the first 30 characters, as another headline. So you want to include the same things in this here, because as you can see on your ads, right here, if I was to go to advanced preview, within that primary text here, you can also see offer, price, and treatment. And if I'm scrolling through the feed, it just acts as a secondary headline to capture people's attention. You don't want to copy it word for word exactly, you just want to get something along the lines. So enjoy 50% off teardrop. Cool. Now for the rest of the copy, you want to frame it as a 3-step story. Number 1, state the problem. Number 2, you invoke pain. And number 3, you prevent. I'm just tell ChatGPT that I need a primary text for my advert. Just random name. Offer things 50% off. Please follow this format. Just paste that in. Copy, paste. Cool. That's a little bit too short, but just for demo's sake, it's alright. So like you can see, we state the problem. Tired of looking constantly tidy, whether you're well rested, it's going to look older and drained, extra confidence even when you're doing everything right. And then we present the solution. Glow skin, glow Medspa Kensington teardrop filler. Restores volume, brightens under eyes, gives you a refreshed, youthful appearance instantly. Then the CTA, now 50% off, but now glow from the inside out. Okay. Call to action, you always want to choose sign up or learn more. patients who see them view them as less commitment buttons rather than something like book now, for example, or get off or get quit. It's just an easier way for people to opt in. For your ad description, you simply just want to add something simple like only 9 spaces left this month or hurry into slots remaining. Should be super simple. Then you want to include an emoji as well, just because maybe like a red alarm button emoji. That's not my one tips. Let's try red alarm. Yeah. Not red alarm. One must try siren. Should definitely be siren. You know the siren. There we go. Use color. Copy. And then we'll post this right here. And yeah, there we have it. That's simple ad for now. Obviously, I don't actually have a video example here. I can create one, but that might take a bit of time. So I'm just going to summarize the video right now. So in general, we want to use leads as a campaign objective, use open targeting as it lets Facebook just do its thing, and then choose between lead form for fast and cheap leads or website forms for higher quality leads, and then use video ads for maximum reach and engagement. Nail the first 5 seconds of the video visually and verbally to really get your ad to perform, and then structure your copy in the following way. Number 1, problem. 2, pain. 3, solution. Should use that flow always. And then use urgency in the description and headlines that speak to the local audience, aka call out the local audience. Well, that's the video, guys. If you liked it, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you do need help with acquiring patients or getting more patients through the door, then there's a link in the description. You already know what to do.